Stata ban against Shogun is pretty big, and the standard Lucian ban against blue side because of flex potential. Other bans I want from Saigon include the LeBlanc and the Wukong. They're attacking Froggy's global pressure. I look at Froggy similar to Cryon from last year's RNG, in that he's pretty lost in the mid lane, but when he has these global picks like the Galileo in the TF, he plays a lot differently. I wonder if T would even leave up the Twisted Fate and let Froggy perform on that. Wukong is banned, so I'd be interested whether or not the LeBlanc or the Ari will be left up for T1, considering both have had pretty rough track of being countered in the meta. Ari, you see the counter coming from Zoe, and we saw Jojo Pion trying to counterpick the LeBlanc with a Rise, which did not go so well. Volibear banned away from BJ. BJ's had a couple of really good performances on the Viego, so if they do look for the early mage pick in the LeBlanc or the Ashe, will probably be punished by that pick. Saigon have also been flexing the Callista, so you could potentially, so T1 can't pick the early Twisted Fate, otherwise they're going to get Callista Diana again. Zoe is banned away, which is a green light for the Ari pick to come in. Gwen is still on the table as well. Hasmeed, a very large fan of that pick. So see if it is Twisted Fate or Ari or LeBlanc. Be interesting if Froggy goes for the Twisted Fate into the Ari pick, especially with the Zoe bid out. This is something that you've got to want. You're looking to flex the Akali pick, which is pretty bold into the Ari. Ari isn't the biggest lane bully, so there's a chance where Akali does look to scale out. But the Callista pick comes through here, so T1 need to be careful of the flex potential and of this Akali going top lane. And if T1 do pick the Gwen, Akali could easily match the pressure up top, even though I do think that is a losing matchup. Azrael is an almost S tier pick, I want to say, in the bot lane. The early aggression with that press the attack build, as well as the defensive tool of the E, as well as the huge buffs to the R. Ezreal is a power pick for sure. Alongside it, we see picks like the Leona, sometimes the Braum, sometimes the Nautilus. Rakan as well also fits into that. Keria has the pick of the litter, as opposed to, and wow, a Vi pick coming in. Near disrespectful. I would pick some early bot lane pick like the Braum to threaten a level 1 invade on the Vi. It's probably the biggest window to punish the Vi, considering the level 1 with W is so bad. But instead we're looking for Nocturne, which will look for general global pressure into Vi's early game. Banning away Zeus's Jace is interesting, and we start to ban away handcuffs next to the Callista and the Rakan. Other potential choices are the Rel, the Taric, I guess, the Gragas, even the Alistar from Taki could be big. Yumi being banned away here is kind of interesting. On the Ezreal, I think it's a pretty poor choice. Especially, at the very least, I would ban Karma. Keria really known for that pick, and Karma would be a good early neutralizer into the Callista, and would give you true vision on the Akali. Gragas banned away. So picks like 3 Rel looking good for the carry. Oh, don't do this. Don't pick Nautilus into Ezreal, please. Imagine picking Nautilus against Keria Like how, I don't want to say delusional, but Jesus Christ. So leaving R5 for a potential mid or top flex pick is pretty good though, so you have to pick support there. We'll see what T1 wants next to this Ezreal, and we will pick the Gwen into the Akali here, which means, ooh, I do like the Gangplank pick here. Really easy to set up Charm, really easy to get those Qs off from Vi. Instead we will see the Gwen, which could have some pretty good value into the Nocturne. We'll see what the answer into the Gwen is as well. Braum with Ezreal seems pretty dope. Also having that level 1 power to fend off any invade attempt onto the Vi is pretty big from T1. Whether they knew that they drafted that or not is, another thing. Yeah, I don't know. If you don't have Zoe here, I don't know what you pick into the mid lane. Oh, we're just keeping the Kali mid, and we're counter picking with R5 Kennen. It's kind of interesting, but I'm not necessarily afraid of the AD damage coming from Saigon, so you're incentivized to stack a shit ton of magic resist. So it's going to be a really, really rough game for Saigon Buffalo for sure. They're not even totally committed on the dive, so you're going to get limited value out of this Kennen. I think overall, I don't know. I think they're outgaming themselves with the Callisto. I think this should be an easy 2-1 for T1. If the Vi pick was not emblematic of that enough.